I would say probably slightly encouraged, especially by the way we played. I'd say first half. I thought they wore us down terribly. We got in about the worst foul trouble you could possibly get in. And, with our inexperience, we don't have the depth to really sit those kids. So it's shocking that I think Kaufman was the only one that fouled out. But Grace and Taylor, had 3 or 4 fouls so early in the game. I definitely thought they wore us down. But, I think we gave up 5 offensive rebounds in the first half. That's hugely encouraging for us, especially against a team like Mizzou, because I think if we can kind of neutralize Summit League teams on the boards, that's really going to help us. So offensively, they just guarded one-on-one. They did not help. You saw we only had 3 assists, and, part of that was a couple times we were able to beat them, and we had wide-open layups. It was just because they weren't helping. It's just a matter of, it's so hard to beat good defenders. They're physical. They can get to the basket and challenge your shot. And we did beat them. I thought we had a lot of good takes, and, it's just everything's harder. So a layup, a finish at the basket's harder, a wide-open three's harder, and we didn't finish as many as we probably needed to try to make a little run there.
JD, did Sophie live up to the hype?
The thing about her is she's just so, she didn't try to force a lot. She didn't come in here, I'm the WNBA player, I'm going to just try to take over one-on-one. I don't notice that she really made very many mistakes all night and really played within their team concept. And you have to do that against the zone. I was kind of hoping she'd come in and really try to force things, and maybe we could take a couple charges on her and get her in foul trouble. And I thought she really did a good job of kind of playing in their team concept, and they really worked our zone well. And then once she started getting on the interior, that's where she really hurt us. They could lob it up to her, and she's so strong and has such good hands. It was kind of like there wasn't too much we can do.
Were you guys looking to you play a team like that, you got to come out, you got to be ready to go right away and knock some shots down. It just seemed like just kind of a little bit of flatness on offense, and then neither team really got it going, but it just seemed like they were able to kind of keep you guys at arm's length there for a bit.
Yeah, that first quarter we scored 8 points, and that's not really like us. And I will say that we expected them to switch a lot of screens. That's how they played a lot last year. And, they came out and just decided they weren't going to switch screens, which I think was a smart play on Coach Pinchin's part. So I think that threw us off a little bit because we were running a lot of motion. They were just locking us down one-on-one and playing pretty physically off the ball. And then we started to space more, and we're able to get to the basket. We're able to get the free throw line. It's so hard to guard one-on-one at this level. And I don't think teams of our level will be able to do that as well as they did. But that bad start really hurt us because if you look at the other 3 quarters, we scored about our pace. We would have scored 70, mid-70s probably if we had that pace in the first quarter. So even though it felt a little tough on offense and a little stagnant, I think the way they guarded us, we were taking what they were going to give us.
You guys seemed to go head down a lot toward the rim tonight. Was that your game plan considering this was a bigger team?
No, not at all. And I think we have to do a better job getting our head up. And I think that will help the finishes as well because it was we're kind of trying to be physical and we're battling so much. Then we get to the rim, it's like you got to find the rim. You got to kind of find your bearing almost as you go to finish. And I think that's pretty common when a team is pressuring you. And we talk about trying to get the other team's head down. And they really did a good job of doing that to us. So I like the idea that we were aggressive. We get to the free throw line 33 times against a BCS program. That's really big. And it's just a matter of maybe finishing some of those other ones and shooting a little better when we did get an open 3.
Avery only took 2 shots tonight. Would you like to see her maybe be more aggressive in the future?
They were really face guarding her. She, probably all they had on our exhibition game was a box score, which is pretty rare for this level. And since she's a new player, they just see that she's hit 6 threes and they just face guard her all night. So, a kid like that can be still really affected by spacing the defense and not allowing your player to help. And again, I think that's the reason we were able to play one-on-one. And we're a team we've got to be able to, if a team's going to make us play one-on-one, we've got to be able to score one-on-one, and they made that difficult. But, that's kind of one of those things. Avery could have maybe chucked up a few bad shots, but they were doing such a good job of face guard, not letting her get it off. She kind of had to play her role there.
Coach, you said they wore you out. You weren't willing. Game 1, how would you guys kind of assess how things went? It's a lot of new moving parts for you guys, so how would you kind of assess breakdown the first game tonight?
I think it was good to get out on the court, and obviously Mizzou is an incredible team, so we knew that we were kind of being thrown into the fire, and I think that playing them right off the bat will hopefully give us a lot of confidence going forward because we did hang with them for one half, and we know that we have the potential to play with teams of that caliber. And so obviously tough first start against a really good opponent, but I think there's lots of things we can learn from.
Annabelle, when you were driving inside, you had your head up a lot. What experience previously led you to keep your head up and finish strong in this game?
I'm not sure. I've always been kind of a drive first player, and I would say probably pass first player. I love passing, and I think it's a really underrated part of the game. So I always try and keep my head up, but credit to my teammates. I got the ball underneath the basket a lot in a good position to score.
And Olivia, you, I noticed a lot when you were driving, you got kind of caught with your head down. What happened tonight? What forced them to get your head down?
It seemed like a little bit I'd get caught at the top with the ball, and they're so aggressive on defense. Like, I felt like my only option was attack when the shot clock got down, so it was kind of in that situation. And also they're such a physical team that, it's not something – it's the first game, so I think as the year goes on, I'll hopefully get better at it. I know it's something I can work on now.
Not a lot of turnovers against the press, but did that still kind of bother you guys as far as maybe taking an extra time to get into the offense, or eventually in that third quarter, fourth quarter, all the minutes plus the press and the physical play kind of start to lean on you and wear on you guys?
I think a big thing with the press is, we're a fast-paced team, and, teams know that, we, even on made balls, we want to get the ball up the court as fast as possible. So I think that kind of takes us out of our rhythm a little bit whenever teams do kind of do that man press to just kind of slow the ball down. So yeah.
Well, you talk about your pass first play style, and it's apparent in the game. But what I really appreciate is your one-handed passes. You seem like you get the ball in your hand and you just dart it towards the nearest player, and that's a speedy ball. What makes you want to do that rather than just a two-handed pass?
I think a lot of times it's just quicker to me. Like, I see something fast, and if I'm dribbling, it's already in one hand. So I guess that's it. I don't really have a rhyme or reason. It's just something that I've always done.
They were much bigger than you guys. That was obvious. You can look at a roster and see that, but I feel like you guys defended them quite well. How did you guys play such good defense against a much taller team? They were grinding you down on the inside.
Going into the game, we knew that, we talked about that a lot, that they were going to be physical. And, I think we were just mentally prepared enough to go into the game and understand that we're going to have to fight for every rebound, win the 50-50 ball. So I think just having that mentality that, nothing's going to come easy was, a big game changer.
How much did that hard physical one-on-one defense breathing in your face, how much did that bother you guys tonight?
It's tough because we like to run a lot of flare screens in motion, so we don't really have a set place that you have to go to. So when they're in your space like that, it's kind of hard to know what to do sometimes. And credit to them, they had a plan and stuck with it the whole game, and obviously it stifled us at times. So credit to them, but I think that it's just hard because it feels like nothing's open when someone's so close to you the whole game. Yeah.
Olivia, you stepping into the shoes as a starting point guard for this team, stepping into Clement's shoes, how much has she been an influence and a factor, stepping into the spot from last year playing with her to now being coached by her?
Yeah, no, I've definitely, my freshman and sophomore years, have learned a lot from her on and off the court. She was a great leader, a great all-around person, and someone that I'll always look up to. And yeah, now it's kind of different having her on the bench, but she's been, after my first exhibition game, she sent me a message, keep my head up and stuff. So it was nice, getting that text from her, saying, she was in the exact same position her junior year, too. So it kind of gave me motivation to come back and keep playing hard.